With the United States yet to launch an attack on Iran despite its earlier threats, several reports now suggest that Russia may be playing a significant role in shaping Washington's strategy. U.S. President Donald Trump appears to have adopted a noticeably more cautious and measured tone in his latest statements regarding America's approach toward Iran. According to Russia's state-run media outlet RT News, ongoing mediation efforts led primarily by Moscow may be influencing Trump's decision to delay any immediate military strikes. Earlier, an unnamed U.S. official told the Wall Street Journal that no airstrikes against Iran were imminent, further indicating Washington's shift toward a more diplomatic stance. Behind the scenes, mediating nations including Russia, Turkey, and Qatar have reportedly been working tirelessly to bring both the United States and Iran back to the negotiating table. Following these developments, President Trump has publicly urged Iran to participate in direct talks aimed at ending its nuclear weapons program, warning that failure to do so could lead to war. In January 2026, the Russian president met personally with the Secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council to discuss new pathways for easing tensions between Tehran and Washington. During this high-level meeting, Vladimir Putin presented a detailed list of proposals to Iran's Ali Larijani intended to kickstart a fresh round of diplomatic negotiations with the U.S. According to reports from RT News, Putin's proposals may have played a decisive role in prompting Trump to temporarily postpone his decision to authorize military action against Iran. One key element of Putin's plan involved placing Iranian uranium enrichment programs under Russian oversight, ensuring that the activity remains strictly limited to civilian purposes, as reported by RT. Putin also assured that Russia would personally guarantee Iran's enrichment process stays fully within internationally agreed-upon limits and nuclear safety standards. He further sought to address both U.S. and Israeli concerns over Iran's controversial ballistic missile program, proposing additional security assurances to ease regional fears. To that end, Putin reportedly stated that Russia could guarantee Iran would not use its missiles to initiate any form of attack against either the United States or Israel. The Kremlin had earlier issued a stern warning that any unilateral or forceful U.S. action against Iran could plunge the entire Middle East into a state of chaos and instability. In a further show of military cooperation, Russia, along with China, plans to send warships to Iran for joint naval drills scheduled for later in February 2026. Analysts view this move as a powerful message of deterrence from Moscow and Beijing aimed directly at U.S. President Trump, signaling their opposition to any escalation. Meanwhile, on February 2nd, President Trump once again warned Iran to return to nuclear negotiations, emphasizing that Washington's patience is wearing thin. Russia had previously played a crucial mediating role in the landmark 2015 Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, or JCPOA, the historic nuclear agreement signed between Iran and major Western powers to limit Tehran's nuclear activities in exchange for sanctions relief. Iran had agreed to do the following in the 2015 deal: restrict uranium enrichment levels, reduce stockpile of enriched uranium, allow comprehensive inspections by IAEA. In 2018, then-President Donald Trump unilaterally withdrew the United States from the JCPOA, accusing Iran of violating the spirit of the agreement and subsequently reimposing crippling economic sanctions on the country. Following the U.S. withdrawal and renewed sanctions, Iran announced its decision to resume enriching uranium beyond the limits set under the nuclear deal, a move that sharply escalated tensions with the West. Before the outbreak of the 12-day Iran-Israel war in 2015, Washington and Tehran had already held 5 intensive rounds of negotiations focusing on curbing Iran's nuclear ambitions and restoring diplomatic trust. However, Iran drew a firm red line during those discussions, declaring that it would continue uranium enrichment activities strictly for civilian and energy-related purposes, despite Western objections. On June 13, Israel launched a sudden series of airstrikes on Iranian facilities, claiming that Tehran was secretly attempting to weaponize its enriched uranium for military use, a charge Iran strongly denied. The United States officially entered the conflict on June 22, deploying B-2 stealth bombers to target several of Iran's most critical nuclear sites in what it described as a defensive measure to prevent escalation. The U.S. military used powerful bunker buster bombs and Tomahawk cruise missiles in precision attacks that destroyed 3 major Iranian nuclear facilities believed to be central to the country's atomic program. In retaliation, Iran fired a barrage of missiles at American military bases in Qatar, sparking fears of an all-out regional war before both sides finally agreed to a fragile ceasefire mediated by international actors.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.